Good day, everyone, and welcome to the second half of our class on economic development. So, the first half of our eco development class, we focus on a broader aspect of economic development. Now, we have discussed about poverty, inequality, and employment, human capital development, environment, um, role of agriculture and rural development. We discussed about trade, foreign aid, and international organizations. So we've discussed global aspects of it, and we've discussed also examples and the current state or current news regarding those topics. And in our lectures, we also provided solutions and policies to address such challenges that are experienced in the economy. But for the second half of our economic development class, we will be focusing more on the local unit here in the Philippines, which is barangay. So barangay, it is the basic political unit which serves as the primary planning and implementing unit of government, policies, plans, programs, projects, and activities in the community, and is a forum wherein the collective views of the people may be expressed, crystallized, and considered, and where disputes may be amicably settled. This is according to the Local Government Code, Section 384. And this PDF file that I'm reading right now is Barangay Primer 6th edition that was produced by DALG. Okay, so barangay, we all know what it is. We live in a barangay. But in economics, we can define barangay as the um, basic political unit of an economy, and it's serves as the primary planning and implementing unit of the policies, different policies and plans and programs, no? So that's the role of barangay. In, it's also a collective effort that it addresses problems of the whole barangay for the betterment of the whole residents, each resident in that specific barangay, no? So you can read through barangay through this barangay primer, but I'll be focusing more on the barangay development planning for this lecture, no? Let's go to the primer on barangay development planning. This is produced and published by DILG, no? BDP, this is Barangay Development Plan, this acronym as BDP. This is the comprehensive multi-sectoral development plan that is formulated through an inclusive and participatory approach led by the Barangay Development Council and approved by the Sangguniang Barangay. So this is a 3-year plan. 3 years, okay? The 3-year plan for the whole barangay. Now, it's an official document of the barangay that specify policy options, programs, projects, and activities intended to contribute towards achievement of the barangay's development goals and objectives. And at the minimum, the BDP must have the following: situational analysis, organizational philosophy, policy options, programs, projects, activities, implementation timelines, resource requirements, monitoring, and evaluation system. Now, before I go further, no, since the word programs, projects, and activities are always used in this primer, let me differentiate the three, no? So when we say program, take note of this, huh? Because this is really important, the differentiation between the three. When we say program, it's about it is a broader context, no? It's a combination of projects and activities. It's not limited. I mean, the scope is overarching into other related projects and activities, no? It's in coordinated way and its focus is in longer term. And um unlike project of which it's specific, no, projects are specific. It's defined from start to end. So may time frame siya and it's focused on producing a specific output. And then activities naman, it's the individual steps or a specific task or actions that are needed to be performed. And it's also detailed and it will be performed in short duration in order to um in order to make a program successful, no? So party siya ng program, individual task of a program, no? So, for example, the program is to improve or improving community health. So that's the program, improving community health. The project is, it could be conducting a vaccination campaign, okay, or a vaccination drive. And then the activity in particular will it will um include procuring vaccines. No, okay, it's a vaccination campaign man. So the activity could include procurement of vaccine, training of healthcare workers for that vaccination activity, and other specific tasks, no, involving improvement of um um rather conducting a vaccination campaign. So that's the difference between the three, no? The programs, it's broader. It's a group of related projects and activities. It's coordinated. It has a longer term focus. Project naman, it's specified plan, strategized, it's defined from start up to the end. It's focused on producing a specific output. And then activities, it is a specific task or action that is performed detailed within short duration. It's the individual steps or tasks that you do in order to achieve a project or a program. No? Okay. So that's the difference. Let's go back to this. Let's go back to the primer, not the BDP. So what are the legal basis for the preparation of the BDP? Section 106 of Local Government Code, each barangay shall have a comprehensive multi-sectoral development plan spearheaded by its development council and approved by its sanggunian. The barangay is as I mentioned, barangay is the primary planning, implementing unit of the government policies. So it's up to the Barangay Development Council to submit a copy of its approved BDP and annual investment program to the local finance community. So BDP, that's 3 years, and then annual investment program. This is yearly from the word annual, no? And this is the legal basis. So a barangay really needs to submit a barangay development plan. Not only submit, no, for the submission, the quality of barangay development plan is really crucial because all of the residents within the barangay will be affected by the plan created by the BDC, no? So talking about BDC or the Barangay Development Council, later I will discuss Barangay Development Council, no? So let's discuss first the importance of preparation and rationalization of the BDP. So primary purpose of BDP is to protect public interest and that of every individual who has a stake in the planning process. Governance in the context of development planning is about upholding the interests of the governed, which is those residing in the barangay. So planning is a key element in governance expected to answer the following question. Why is there a need for local government to plan? Who are involved in planning? How is the plan accomplished? What are the activities that will ensure the implementation of the prepared plan? So the why is, as obvious, it's for the general welfare of the citizenry. Bakit kailangan merong BDP? It's for the citizens, no? So, in order to preserve and enrich culture, promote health and safety, enhance the people's rights, encourage and support development of appropriate and self-reliant scientific and technological capabilities, improve upliftment of public morals, enhancement of economic prosperity and social justice, promotion of full employment, maintenance of peace and order, and to preserve of comfort and convenience of the inhabitants of that barangay. And aside for that, um, it's not limited, but we also have the following um, provisions for basic services and facilities, agricultural support services, health and social welfare services, services and facilities related to hygiene, sanitation, beautification, and solid waste collection, maintenance of katarungan pambarangay, maintenance of barangay roads, bridges, and water supply system, infrastructure facilities, information and reading centers, satellite or public market, and others that is needed in order to provide basic services for the residents or for the inhabitants of the barangay. So that's the why. That's the reason why it's crucial to have a barangay development plan. Now, who can participate in the BDP process? Ito na yung sinasabi ko na BDC Council, no? They will come, um, they are the ones who will be doing the barangay development plan. But who can participate? All stakeholders can participate, no? All of us can participate, not only those who are in the barangay, all of those barangay officials, no? We can also participate, um, especially the marginalized sectors, no? And so that they get their needs could be heard, their suggestions, recommendations, no, for the betterment of the barangay could be heard. What else? So the active participation of people from various sectors allows them to lay down the various issues affecting them. Now, who would be involved in the barangay development planning? The BDC. This is what I mentioned earlier, no? Barangay Development Council. They're mandated to formulate the BDP. The BDC is chaired by the Punong Barangay and has the following membership according to Local Government Code Section 107. Sangguniang barangay members are representative of the congressman and representatives of non-governmental organizations operating in a barangay who shall constitute not less than 1/4 of the members of the fully organized council, and including also the SK chairperson. All of those that I mentioned are included or involved in the barangay development planning, aside from the participation of all the stakeholders or us, no? The Barangay Development Council must be organized within 100 days after the assumption of the office of the newly elected barangay officials. So, 100 days after they are nanumpa, after nilang manumpa, no, ng mga newly elected barangay official, the Barangay Development Council should be organized, no? And within 60 days from the start of its organization, the NGO shall choose among the representatives of the council. The NGO that will be represented in the BDC must be duly recognized or accredited by the Sangguniang Barangay. Following all of these memorandums. Now, how often shall the BDC meet? They should meet at least 6 months or as often as necessary. And what are the duties and functions of the BDC? So assist the corresponding sanggunian in setting the direction of economic and social development and coordinating development efforts within its territorial jurisdiction. Perform the following functions as stated, no? And then who will assist or help facilitate the activities of Barangay Development Council, the BDC Secretariat headed by the Barangay Secretary with the assistance of the City Municipal Planning and Development Coordinator. And then the BDC may also engage any NGO or educational or research institution to provide secretariat services according to Local Government Code Section 113. So that is what we are actually doing. No, we are an educational institution, being an instructor in Biliran Province State University, and you as a student of Bachelor of Arts in Economics, we are in an educational institution. So therefore, we may engage in the Barangay Development Council, in particular in the writing of the Barangay Development Plan. So this is This is what we are. This is where we come in, no? Ito po yung ambag natin. Ito yung rason kung bakit tayo umaambag sa barangay development planning. And also, ma'am, nganong apil-apil man gyud ta, ma'am, no? It's, no, personally, I think it's our duty since we have the knowledge. As an economic student, you have the knowledge you've acquired for almost 3 years, 2 to 3 years being a student, no? You have enough knowledge to possibly aid in providing solution in the existing problems that you are experiencing in your barangay or in the barangay that will be assigned to you. So it's really crucial because our knowledge is our power, no? It's like with great power comes great responsibility. It's like our responsibility to share the knowledge that we have. And this is the way that we can help, no? Okay. So that's barangay development plan. That's barangay development planning, the process, and that's barangay development council. Now, let's talk about your second project. So let me scroll on to your syllabus. Now, for your second project, that is present a local development plan that resolves health, economic, and social issues in attaining ambition natin 2040 based on DILG standards. So you will be presenting a local development plan, and I've provided guidelines and criteria for grading, rubric assessment rather, for this specific project, your second project, no? So in designing the development plan for your second project, you will be divided into groups. Later on, we will be discussing about the groupings, no? To gather necessary data to comply the concept note. The concept note will be the initial draft of your local development plan, and you must gather data first based on the situational analysis and problem identification technique that the group has chosen to apply. And you will be applying all of you've learned in developing the said plan, no? The local development plan. Okay, so himay-himayin po natin to, no? Yung groupings later na, gather necessary data to comply in the concept note. Now, how will we gather necessary data, ma'am? First, you need to write a request letter because you cannot conduct any data gathering without request letter. Data gathering and pertaining to data will be gathered by you specifically, no? Hindi po yung data mining kasi dalawa po yan eh. When we say data mining, that's you are gathering secondary data, which is data na existing na. May iba na nag-collect ng data, may ibang nag-collect ng survey. Data mining meaning ginagather mo lang yung data na already gathered by other institution, organization, or people. And you'll be using that data. No, particular yung mga ganyan, you can collect on PSA, World Bank, IMF, and it's free. No, may free open access. When we're talking about primary data, ikaw yung kukuha ng data na yun. Ikaw yung magsa-survey. Ikaw yung mag-gather. And pag ganun, kailangan talagang merong request letter. And lucky for you, I provided a sample request letter so that dili maglahi-lahi ang format sa request letter, no? Pare-parehas tag format. So, listen very carefully because this is what you will be submitting next week. So, request letter, this is a format. Do not change the header. Header, ito po yung header ha, yung nasa taas, yung may Republic of the Philippines, up to Bachelor of Arts in Economics, mga logo. Yan po yung header. Do not change the header. Also, the footer. Footer, ito po yung nasa baba. Itong may main campus, etc. Wow, Bepsu. Huwag niyo din pong i-change yung footer. Yan na po yan siya. The size of this paper, this is in folio. Do not change it as well. Ito na po yung gagamitin nyo na size. Folio kasi pag A4 yung ginamit nyo na paper, magse-separate yung first and second page and it is not allowed that if you're doing a letter, especially if it's a formal letter, hindi po pwede na nakahiwalay yung content ng letter at yung assignatories. The assignatories should be within or with rather with the first page, with the content of the letter, no? So, let's start with the date. So, kung ano yung date, yung lalagay niyo po na date dito is yung date na ibibigay niyo yung letter dun sa recipient. Recipient, yun po yung pagbibigyan nyo ng letter. Ganito po na format yung gagamitin nyo, no? Pag naka-capital and naka-bold dun sa binigay ko na sample, that is the one you will be using. Hindi nyo na po i-change, no? So, lahat po nung naka-yellow, naka-highlight dito sa ginawa kong sample request letter, yun po yung i-change nyo based dun sa assigned sa inyo. And based sa content, i-change nyo. Pero the rest na hindi ko highlight in yellow, huwag nyo na pong i-change. It will remain as it is. Okay? So, recipient full name, example, honorable, the full name of that honorable, no? Punong barangay. Yung lahat po ng letter na gagawin nyo for next week is padulong po sa punong barangay. Okay? And punong barangay na punong barangay of barangays here in Naval, because for your second project, we are strictly focusing in the municipality of Naval, in the 26 barangays of Naval in particular. So lahat po ng groups from section 2A to B2C, lahat po kayo focusing only in the barangay, focusing only in a barangay in Naval. Okay? Then the address, you write it. Then dear, honorable, then the last name of that punong barangay. And then greetings. Now, you briefly mention your background. Briefly. Hindi mo na kailangan sabihin kung sino. Hindi mo na kailangan ibigay yung talang buhay mo. Kung sino ka, saan ka lumaki, whatsoever. Yung importante lang, sabihin mo kung ano yung nire-represent mo, ano yung group nyo, ano yung class na meron kayo, and ano yung pinaplano nyong gawin in particular, or yung project na gagawin nyo, no? Be specific and be exactly to the point when you're doing that background, no? And then afterwards, you state your request. Second paragraph, state your request clearly. Sabihin nyo word per word yung exact na kailangan nyo. Now, this is what you will be requesting actually, no? Sinet ko na pala siya dito. Type ko na lang, no? First, your request must include access to the current ito po yung particular na hihingin nyo. No? Pwede nyo i-change na lang yung grammar, pero ito yung kailangan nyo. Access to the current barangay development plan. Access lang. And when you have the access, pananghid, kung pwede ba siya picturean, pwede ba siya i-photocopy, can you scan it, basta just ask for an access to the current barangay development plan. It could be a soft copy or a hard copy, pero preferable ang hard copy, no? Or ang soft. Either way, importante magkanaamoy access to the current barangay development plan. So the current barangay development plan is from 2023 to 2025. And ma'am, what's the purpose? Why do we need to access this? So that you would know ano na yung mga projects, ano na yung mga program na laman ng 2023 to 2025. Much better if maka-request nyo din yung from previous, yung 2020 to 2022 na BDP. So that you would know that this are the following programs or the ongoing programs or projects in your barangay. Para pag abot sa analyzation later on sa data, meron din kayong idea what the previous and what's the current plan in your barangay. Okay? Now, if they told you, if sabihin sa inyo na hindi pwede, bawal, tell them that according to, loading pa ha, wait lang. According to, I believe that's section 7. No, section 2, article 7. Hindi yan, kabila, wait lang ha. Loading for a while. Okay, article 3. Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 7 states that the right of the people to information on matters of public concern shall be recognized. Again, I'll emphasize, no, if they ask you, hindi pwede, bawal magbigay ng access sa BDP. You are not allowed to have an access in the BDP. Tell them that according to Article 3 Bill of Rights, of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, Section 7 states that the right of the people to information on matters of public concern shall be recognized. And BDP is part of the public concern. Okay? And further, you can state na based on Executive Order Number 2, Series of 2016, it's an executive operationalizing in the executive branch the people's constitutional right to information and the state policies to full public disclosure and transparency in the public service. Okay? So, yon. Pwede niyong ipaglaban yon in a respectful and professional way niyo sasabihin. Kailangan hindi kayo galit. Kasi kayo yung mahinihingi sa kanila. You need to be respectful. Always, all the time, use po. Yes, do not be harsh. Do not be agitated, no? Kumalma lang kayo because you're the one requesting. But if they did ask you, or if they told you na hindi, bawal mag-share ng access with the BDP, you can mention those. You can mention that EO and that part of the law, no? Bill of Rights, Section 3, no, Article 3, Section 7, Bill of Rights. Okay? Okay, so going back, so you will be access for the current barangay development plan, and that also you will be conducting a survey for your project in econ development class. And further, if they also have, actually, they should have the, the data for inhabitants, no? Kailangan na sila survey regarding inhabitants. So, yung population of the barangay as well. Current population of the barangay, ha? So, why do you need the current population of the barangay? It's in order for you to calculate the sample size for the survey. Okay. Ma'am, anong survey yung gagawin? Later on, I will be discussing bakit kayo magsisurvey for this project, no? And also make sure na yung format ng content or nitong body ng message or ng letter rather is naka-justify. Okay. Then after explaining your request, stating your request rather, you will be explaining why you're making this request, no? respectfully and with professionally will explain any relevant details and information to support the need for you the need for your request, and then at the end of your letter, you should respectfully, you should say that you thank them for their time and consideration sincerely, and then name of the representative or secretary of your group, and then signed by them. No, isa lang po yung magsasign. Only the representative of the group or the secretary of the group will sign. Hindi na po kailangan lahat kayo ng members mag-sign. And then this noted, hindi nyo na po ito i-change. Lahat ito, kami as it is. And then approved by the recipient, the honorable, the punong barangay, no? Honorable. And then recipient by punong barangay. Actually, that's the one here. Punong barangay. Okay. So this is the sample request letter. I'll be giving a Word file. I'll be uploading a Word file copy of this in our Google Classroom so that you can edit this and then you can submit this next week. Ayun, sagkago all about the groupings and about the barangays in particular. Kalma lang, no? I'll be discussing next the survey or the data gathering that you will be doing first. Later, dito ta sa groupings and sa barangay, no? Okay. So this slide that I'll be showing you now this is from Sir Dexter Narido, a DALG, head of office in DALG, no? I forgot what specific division he is ahead of, but thank you very much, Dexter Narido, for giving us a copy of this, no? So I do not own this PowerPoint presentation, but I'll be showing you this one because this is a detailed presentation of the participatory situational analysis that you will be conducting, or the data gathering, or the survey that you will be doing. No. So, how will you create a plan if you don't know the problem or the current state of that local? So, kailangan you need to start by knowing the local. Kailangan mo munang alamin kung ano yung barangay. And you can know the barangay by doing the following situational analysis. You can do it all if you can as a group, or you can select um, technique from the following, no, that you believe will be enough for you to create the plan. So not necessarily that you will be doing all of these techniques that I'll be mentioning, but you can choose what you think is needed and will be enough for you to create the plan or your second project, no? So what is a participatory situational analysis? It is a systematic, semi-structured, and flexible method of getting information, also known as participatory rural appraisal, participatory learning action, participatory research review, participatory action research. Now, I'll be discussing these tools or the techniques that can be done, no? And also, I'd like to highlight I forgot to highlight that for this project, no, it's important that you will be okay. It's important that the concerns of the 5 development sectors will be answered, no? Economic, social, environmental, infrastructure, and institutional development. So, yung 5 na po yun, ha? The economic, social, environment, infrastructure, and institutional development. So, kailangan po in your local development plan, in your second project, all of the 5 development sectors are included. Okay? Now, here are the tools or the techniques that you can use in order to gather the necessary data for your concept note. First is resource mapping. It looks like this. No, so you can know what are the resources this barangay has. Some barangay already have resource mapping, no, and it's within their BDP. So if you can get access to their BDP, you can have access to this one, it would be better. So you will no longer have to do this, no? Okay, it's already done by the barangay, the BDC. No, assess what communities have to offer by identifying assets and resources within the locality which may be utilized for community strengthening and development. It could be presented through inventories, maps, figures, matrices. So that's another example, no? Sample resource map. And this one as well. So this one is a hazard map and community risk mapping. Some barangays also already have this. Okay, another tool can be a historical timeline. It's like um it's like it's a timeline. Yung bang may mga lines, no? So it looks like this. A year, and then all of the important or significant events that happen within the barangay that are needed to be that are crucial in the development of the barangay. Um it could be written in this format, no? And then or in this format, in a tabular format. So don't worry, you can. I will also given a copy of this. But although it's not mine to give, I'm really sorry. Okay, this is not my PowerPoint presentation, but I do not have the the time to to call this to adapt this to another PowerPoint presentation. So although this is not mine to share, I'll be sharing this to you. No apologies. Because the content of this presentation is really crucial for your BDP, no? For your local development plan, rather. So, next Venn diagram. You already know what's a Venn diagram. It looks like this, no? And then what else? You can also use an income expenditure tree on which you'll be drawing or writing all the sources of income below this, below the in the trunk, in the roots rather, and then the expenditures in the branches. So it looks like this. Could be a sample. And then gender roles matrix. This I will be um requiring for all of the groups, no, because this is really important for gender and development. This is required for each group in your situational analysis tools. Use this. This is mandatory. Use this gender roles matrix to be writing down the activities undertaken by men, which is productive and reproductive, and then also with activities undertaken by women. This is mandatory, okay? Include this in your situational analysis. And then climate and disaster risk assessment. This is existing already in most of the barangay, no? So you can, if you have access to the BDP or to their disaster risk reduction development plan, it's better if you can access this, no, and include this in your situation analysis. Next, impact chain analysis also existing. Better if we have access to this one. And then seasonality calendar. Okay. So this is a sample of seasonality calendar, especially for those barangay within um disaster prone areas, no? So those are Examples of the participatory situational analysis tools that you can use for your data gathering to be conducted right after you have the approved request letter. So, yung gagawin niyo po next week, just going back lang, no, is you will do this, you will print this, and you will submit it to me once you sign it, and then you will complete all the signatories and then go to the punong barangay and ask for his approval of this request. And if he or she approved, you can immediately conduct the survey. And make sure that before you conduct the survey, you know the population. And if you know the population, calculate the sample size. You can use softwares that are available in the internet, various softwares that you can use, or you can use Stata in order to calculate the sample size for your survey. But I will be convening with you when we go to that part na no, sa and before you data gather. So that's your first task for your second project. Let's go back. Okay. Now, groupings. Ma'am, what will be the groupings? I will let you decide. I will give you 24 hours to answer the poll that I'll be creating in our group chat. It's either you will group yourselves or I will group you. Okay? And then after you answer the poll, if the majority answer that I will group you, then I'll be giving you the list of the groups. Okay? And then if you decide naman to group yourselves, make sure, no, not make sure, this class secretary will be sending a paper or a document with the list of each group. So, for example, group 1, mo ni sila. Group 2, mo ni sila. So, the secretary will do that. And the deadline is on Monday morning if you choose to group yourselves. Again, going back. Mhm. Well, pinaglag sa laptop. Again, so if you choose to that I will group you, ako magbuot sa groupings, I will send a list of that groupings on Monday morning. But if you decided that you will group yourselves, the class secretary will be providing the list and the names of the groupings. Now, I'll give you again until Sunday afternoon, Sunday 6 p.m. to decide, and then I will have the majority of the votes will then determine if I will group you or you will group yourselves. Now, groupings, since there are 26 barangay in Naval, 6, yeah. So for 2A, you'll be assigned to 9 barangays, different barangays. 2B will be assigned to 8 different barangays, and 2C will be assigned to 9 barangays. I decided that 2B will have one less than the other sections because there are only around 28 students in 2B enrolled for 2B. No, for 2A, the groupings will be 4 persons per group. So, 4 na tao per group and 8 groups in total. And then there's one person that, there's one group rather that would have 5 members. That's for 2A. Again, for 2A, 4 persons per group and 8 groups for 8 groups. And then there will be a one group with 5 members. And then next for 2B, four members per group, and then there will be 4 groups. And then there will be another 4 groups with 3 members only. Again, for 2B, 4 na tao for 4 groups. And then ay upat ka groups nga tagtulo lang. Next, for 2C, exactly 4 members in each group. And there will be 8 groups. 9 groups rather. So, for 9 groups, 4 members each. Exactly for 2C. So you have the decision. You will decide if I will group you or you will group yourselves. Majority will determine tomorrow if what will be. If I group you, you cannot do anything with the groupings. If ako ang magbuhat sa groupings, dili na gyud na pwede ma-change hangtod sa ma-produce, hangtod sa mahuman ang inyong project. Also, if kamoy mag-decide sa groupings, kung sa tunga groupings, mauna gyud na siya at the end as well, no? Hindi na pwedeng mag-change in groupings along the weeks ahead. And if mag-drop man gani or dili na mo sulod or dili na mo tabang ang kana siya nga member, and then mare-remove lang siya sa group. Pero you as a group ang mahabilin kung duha na lang mo, kung tulo mo, or kung usa na lang ka sa group, you will remain hangtod sa end of the project. Next, the barangay. I will determine the barangay set for you. For 2A, actually it's alphabetical, no? For 2A, agpangi tukatmon. Agpangi anislagan at tipolo, borak, kabungaan, kalumpang, kapinyahan, karay-karay, katmon. That's 9. And then for 2B, Hagikhikan, Imelda Larasaba, Libertad Libtong, Liko, Luksoon, Mabini. But take note, this is not yet final because I need to convene with our chairperson and our dean regarding the barangay in Higatangan, no? So actually this is not yet final, no, the list of the barangays. So let's not talk about it. Let's talk about na lang let's go back na lang sa groupings, no? And so ayun, I need a final list on Monday morning for the groupings. Or if I will decide the groupings, I'll provide you the list in Monday morning. Ma'am, how about the request letter? Ha? So the request letter, leave it blank una. You will submit this on Thursday. So magkastorya pa ta on Monday regarding kung kinsa ang assign ani nga barangay. And then once ma-assign na mo sa barangay, once na-group na mo on Monday, na-fix na, tsaka ninyo mahibawan, tsaka ninyo panginano nung kinsa to siya nga punong barangay, what's his or her name. And also, pero ipapakita nyo na yung printed na edited na version ng request letter na to on Monday. Leave it blank lang yung name ni Honorable, ni punong barangay, so that I would see if sakto na ba yung content na nilagay nyo sa request letter. So again, on Monday, although wala pa yung name ni Honorable, although wala pang assigned na barangay, once ma-fix na yung groupings nyo on Monday morning, you will submit a draft of this. Draft, pwedeng hindi na lang printed para dili masayang inyong money. Pero if you can print it, then print much better so that I could quickly give my comments on it. No? So yeah, that's task number 1 for your second project. As I've said, after this request letter, once approved na siya, once approved na sa punong barangay, once you have the population, you can conduct the survey. Now, deadline. So ito yung deadline nito next week. How about the second project? The deadline is on the 16th week of the class. Pero pag-usapan muna natin yung concept note. The concept note, which is contains the following sa number 2, A, B, C, D. You will be able to answer this concept questions if you have the data. So once you have na the data, after you conduct the situational analysis using the tools and the techniques that I've discussed, tsaka nyo pa ito maa-answeran. And the deadline of this concept note is on the last day of March, which is March 31, the deadline of this one. Okay? And just follow na lang the format that that's written in here and the questions. Answer this. And again, you will be able to, the only way you can answer the question here is if you're done with the situational analysis or the survey, no? Data gathering. What else? Your first project, we will talk about it next week. I'll only discuss your second project in this video discussion. So if you have any other further questions, clarifications with this discussion, feel free to personally message me. And that's it. That's the end of the discussion. So, medyo mabigat siya. Medyo madaming gagawin. Pero, nagawa to last year ng Econ Dev class ko. So, I believe you can also do this, no? If you're dedicated and if you want to graduate, okay, if you want to pass this subject, okay, this is your second project. It contains heavy, I think it's in the syllabus, no? It contains heavy percentage in your grades, which is your project and performance task. Para lang ma-inspire kayo. This is a course requirement. And then project, this is 60%. The second project, 60% of your project, and for your performance task, this is 35%. Data gathering and concept note. Okay, so that's the end of this discussion. Laban, everyone.